Is that radio, is it?
Yeah,
radio.
this one is,
Yeah.
but it's for online. Actually.
Oh, cool.
Voila.
And also for the radio.
Okay.
And I'll be just translating some of the questions, that's all.
Yep.
All right, guys. Or ladies. Maybe.
Should I start
Why
again?
not? Ladies first, right?
We are gentlemen.
Once Gary gets here.
Yeah, okay, just question.
If I was you guys, I would ask all the questions to Gary. So we better get mine out of the way quick.
This question is for you, actually.
What do you think of Gary? I've got a question for you. What do you think of Gary? What was it like to work with Gary?
Now that he's not here, can we really say what we think about Gary?
Oh, he just was making the jokes, yeah.
25 years ago.
Yeah, it's actually if the same
See,
thing
we've
happens.
all aged gracefully.
We've
gracefully aged. That's it.
Okay, good
We have
evening.
aged.
We
Yes, it's so funny because people say, how do you like the original Robocop? And I'm thinking, you know, yeah, it was this, and then I'm remembering when and then Abbie keeps saying, well, I was a kid.
I was 5, Gaz.
You were 5. I was in my late 20s.
Oh well.
Still are, mate. Still are.
All right.
So
Go for it.
if the same thing actually happened to you in real life, if you had to make the choice you had to make in the movie, what do you think would you do?
Sensitive topic. I think the fact that Dr. Norton says that his mind will be intact, his memories will be there, he'll be cognitive, that he will be there, is why she signs that piece of paper. And I think the fact that she has a son, that they have a son, she wants to keep her son's father alive, and I think it's more about her son than it is about her, but I think the fact that his mind and his memories and who he is, which is your mind and your heart, and soul, that's who we are. We're not, this isn't who we are, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's my answer in regards to Clara. In regards to myself, I have no idea. The reason it's a sensitive topic because I actually knew when I was 16, when I was 12, one of my friends was run over by a motorbike and was on life support, and the parents had to live through that and make a very difficult decision, and it was a tragic thing to watch. And so when I say sensitive, I can't even talk about that myself because I couldn't imagine as a parent, as a wife, at all. I'd have no idea. No.
Question. Oui.
Question pour Gary. Le docteur Norton semble être dans le film plus qu'un scientifique ou un médecin. Donc je voulais savoir en quoi il est vraiment essentiel pour Alex Murphy. Quelles sont ses motivations profondes? La science, l'argent ou aider son prochain?
Well, obviously in the movie Dr. Norton seems much more than just a scientist or just a doctor. How would you say his relationship with Alex Murphy is? I mean, is it about science? Is it about money? Is it about something totally different?
Well, I think he's a very sort of I think he's a sensitive man, and we talked about this. I think he's more artistic. He seems to have an artistic sensibility, but I think with someone like Norton, it's always about science. I think it's an obsession. But that changes with the relationship and the situation that he's in, because he's in uncharted territory. It's all, they're kind of making it up as they're going along, in many ways. You know, he's definitely not a corporate man. He's not part of. It's like Because it's like trying to get money. It's like a director trying to get money out of a studio.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I couldn't care if it was fucking Warner Brothers, Fox, or Lionsgate, as long as they give me the money to make my movie, because I'm an artist.
Question, oui.
Ce serait pour les deux. Je voulais savoir comment ça s'est déroulé avec Joël sur le tournage, leur complicité.
Yeah, could you tell about your working experience, your friendship, your bond, whatever, with Joel on the set?
With Joel.
Yeah.
We had a good rehearsal period, good rehearsal time, and which is unusual, I think, for a big movie like that. On a Jane Campion film, you get 3 weeks of rehearsals, and it's amazing. So we were able to develop that family dynamic with Jean-Paul Routin during that time, because obviously there's only 2 moments you get to see Clara Murphy happy, or there's 1 moment you get to see the family together as a family before this tragedy happens, and then everything that unfolds after that. So, but surprisingly, Joel and I didn't have a lot of scenes together. The Skype call we did as if it was a Skype call. I got lucky. I'd seen a couple of scenes with Gary Oldman and Michael Keaton. I had, but the scenes that I did have with Joel were really important and sort of held themselves because of the subject and the family. They just, they write themselves. They play themselves out.
Yeah, it's great that we had. It's great we had rehearsal. You don't. I mean, obviously, if you're someone like Jane Campion and various, there are, but you would think on a $200 million movie you would have rehearsal, but you don't.
You don't, yeah.
No.
Unless it's like, you've got to train or something. You've got to do 3 months of training, like,
then
martial arts training.
If the camera isn't rolling, it's pointless for the studio.
Yeah, yeah. And also too, I mean, this film, we had such a lovely cast and crew. It was really lovely to go to work every day. Everyone, across the board.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a lovely bunch?
Yeah.
Well, Brazilians, huh? More fun than... Just kidding.
More fun than the English and the Australians.
You see, the laugh is an admittance. Question?
Alors dans le film, les médias sont assez partisans. Je voulais savoir quel est leur rapport avec les médias.
Well, I mean, this movie, the media especially, the part played by Samuel Jackson has a very strong power, so it seems, what is your relationship to the media?
Do you want to go on that one?
My relationship to the media. What? It's just, you mean being in the
Business, en tant qu'acteur ou en tant qu'est-ce qu'il pense des médias en général et du rôle des médias?
Yeah.
Alors j'aimerais les deux.
So the two parties, you obviously as an actor, but also in general the role of the media nowadays, their responsibility or not.
I don't think they have responsibility anymore. I don't think they're responsible for their opinions. It's America is almost as if it's government run. So I think there's no honest journalism. I find that rare now. I think it's also the internet and the modern technology has in a way created a whole generation of bullies who sit behind their computers, and everybody's a fucking critic.
And spoon-fed.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what it's like here. I don't know what it's like, but in America, you can't you can't get the you know, you can't get an honest. I think it's in a shocking place.
And yeah, you've got to search and you've got to seek so hard to find the truth.
Mainstream is mainstream.
Yeah.
So it's
If you open your Google, you Google Mail, what you get exposed to is, which is what a lot of the population is getting exposed to. So you go into, just before you log into your email, and that's what, the things you're being spoon-fed, or the media you're getting exposed to is just there. And, it's about, Angelina Jolie's pregnant, or best and worst dressed, or, do you know what I mean? These things. Why aren't we being told about factory farming? Why aren't we being told that the live export trade coming out of Australia right now is insanely inhumane and needs to be changed? Laws need to be changed. And why aren't we talking and exposing what's going on in the world and then making decisions together about how to change it and what we would collectively like to do?
C'est tout le problème des whistleblowers, hein, de toute façon.
I just feel you've got to, it's to find real truth and real information, you have to sit, you have to seek, you have to search. I just wish there was a little bit more exposure, a little bit more truth. A documentary like The Cove.
Non, c'était superbe, The Cove.
Changed so many people's opinions and changed the way people felt and thought, and it exposed something. The incident that happened at SeaWorld. The fact that got news coverage. I mean, I could talk about that. I'm going to have to stop talking about this because I could keep talking about this, because I'm passionate about these things, human and animal rights and what's going on.
But I just think, you've got a situation where you've got the President of the United States in 2008 and 2009 saying that what Bush was doing with executive orders, going around Congress, and all of the shenanigans that was going on was in fact un-American, and that the secrecy of Washington and all of that, he was going to change and do it. He's doing it now on fucking steroids.
Ouais. C'est fou, hein?
And why? And also too.
But the media aren't reporting it.
C'est fou. Ouais, you're right.
You'll hear about it on Fox News, but the rest of the news don't talk about it. You'll hear about Benghazi on Fox News. No one's talking about it anywhere else.
And we're also not talking about, I live in a very suburban area, a sort of a converted warehouse space. So I talk to a lot of homeless people in my area, and a lot of them are mentally ill. And America hasn't implemented yet a system where they take care of people that have mental illnesses. There's not enough care taken for people who, these aren't choices. These are the way they were born. These are sometimes people without families. There's no one else to take care of them. They can't get a job because of whatever illness it is they have or disability it is they have. There's not a system in America to take care of them, to house them or home them. Where do they end up? They end up on the street. Yeah. And unless you sit and you talk to these people, you might see a guy walking down the street talking to himself and his pants are all dirty and that, but he might have he needs help.
Of course.
We need more. We need to build a better system where we're looking after each other, we're caring for each other, we're caring for the world we live in. And I think, in regards to what we're talking about, the media can help that a lot.
C'est vrai. C'est vrai. Question.
What did you appreciate in the Jose Padhila way to shoot a movie?
What did we appreciate?
Yes.
What did you love about Jose Padhila's direction and the way
Yes.
he created a set mood and all that?
Well, the movie that you saw, I don't know, 2 days ago, yesterday, or whenever it was, is the movie he pitched me when I first met him. He has a point of view. He's a filmmaker with a point of view. He has a vision. He had a whole vision of it. And he said, no, it's going to be tricky. He said, because I got to go around the studio and I've got to do things and I've got to throw some things in. It's like he was, it's like he was making a big soup, right? And when the studio wasn't looking, he threw in another recipe.
A little idea, a little
Yeah, so
A little bit of salt, a little bit of
so
pepper.
they would say, there's no garlic in that soup, is there? And he'd go, no, look over there. And
No,
he'd
we're
go,
not talking about drones or Afghanistan.
Let's not taste it just yet. Wait till I finish with it.
So he was kind of, yeah.
He
It's
was
nice.
He was a warrior. Made that
He
film.
was a sort of
Great strength.
bit of a wizard like that. But it's always nice to work with someone who's got. You'll know early on if a director's got a point of view,
Yes, straight away.
and if they haven't, then you're sailing without a captain.
He's also very warm, and so his set is very light set. Even in all the dramatics, even when it's a dramatic scene, you're laughing and there's a warmth amongst the crew, and everyone, I think, really enjoys working for him and working with him, and that, I think, that environment, you know, that sort of trust allows for freedom, which allows for creativity to really blossom, and I think he's a great advocate for that, you know,
Yeah, I
environment.
can't bear shouters, bullies, and shouters. I'm
Not
too
at all.
old.
Not
Well,
at all.
I'm too old for that now.
Okay, merci. Thank you.
Merci.
I'd rather.